according to what the Lord Jesus Christ had shown me. And the only way that a human being, you are able to overcome them, it is only by the Spirit of God, because they are so good at this. So when the Lord told us about the existence of the Nephilim, then the Lord also gave us a gift, me and my sister, for us to be able to know them. And I remember the first time when it happened, I was with my sister, and we were coming from evangelism, and we were going home. And when we were on our way home, and the Lord started to tell us that we were going to encounter the Nephilim, that there was this one man who was coming from behind us, and the Lord told us that he was a Nephilim, and that he was going to try to attack us and to harass us. And before we knew it, that is what happened. You can check that full story. I don't want to go back to it. It's in my first video on the Nephilim. It should be in my first video on the Nephilim. But that day, that was the first day when the Lord started to just take down their cover. And that was when it started to sink in that these things are real. Because what the Lord started doing is, when we come to encounter the Nephilim, then the Lord would just take down their cover. And then we're able to see that they are completely not human. And the Nephilim could know that that the Spirit of God has shown us that about who they are. The Nephilim would know that we have known them, but they are so very advanced. That was what the Lord showed us. I remember the Lord also revealed that even in the time of King Nebuchadnezzar, the Lord Jesus Christ said that these Nephilim, they already knew about electricity. That is how technologically advanced they are. They are so smart because they learned so many things that were taught to them by those fallen angels that rebelled. Because the Nephilim are the children of the fallen angels and the humans, and they are evil spirits. They do not have a human soul. So those evil spirits, they have had a mission that they are doing on the earth. We find them appearing after the flood. And even in the end times, the Lord showed me and my sister that the Nephilim are already here. And the Lord said that they are so advanced. They are so smart. They know about so much technology. They know about so much technology. And it made me to understand why, sometimes people, why sometimes they are able to predict, like, oh, this thing is going to be invented in this year and all that. Because the Lord said that they make so many things in Satan's kingdom. These demonic spirits, they make so many things in their kingdom, and then they throw them on the earth. That was the word that the Lord Jesus Christ used when he was telling us about these things. He said they throw them onto the earth. He said they manufacture so many things, and then they throw them onto the earth. And the Lord said that the demonic kingdom, Satan's kingdom, they manufacture everyday things that human beings use in their everyday life. They are able to manufacture all these things, and then they throw them onto the earth. Then they're going to have like an agreement with the company, because the evil spirits are in different categories. Like, there are those evil spirits that are not here on the earth manifested in a human body. Like, they are just in the spirit. So when those are the evil spirits that begin to appear to people, and then people start thinking, oh, they saw a UFO, or maybe there's an alien somewhere, but they are all just demonic spirits. They are evil spirits. And those demons that are in the spiritual realm, they work very closely with the evil spirits that have put on a human-like body, because they have one mission, and they all work for one kingdom. They collaborate. Like when the Lord say that they manufacture anything that you can think of. It's not just the big things that they manufacture, like, oh, maybe they make cars, or maybe they make this or that or that. But the Lord said that they make everything that you can think of, starting with food stuff they manufacture in their kingdom. They manufacture clothes, shoes, plates, cups. They manufacture all these things. And Jesus said that then they throw them onto the earth. Then on the earth, they have this company that is run by the Nephilim. And because it's one kingdom, so how do they bring it on the earth? How do they bring all those things that they are manufacturing? How do they bring them onto the earth? So they work with these companies that are on the earth, that are owned by the Nephilim, the demons that have put on human flesh. When they manufacture all those things in their kingdom, then they throw them onto the earth. Then this company, this earthly company, is going to be the outlet to say, we're the ones who have manufactured this. We're the ones who have manufactured this. And of course, they'll have like a factory and all the manufacturing machines and all those things. And they will actually be manufacturing some things right there on the earth. But these evil spirits work with those Nephilims that are on the earth. And when they manufacture all those things, then they throw them onto the earth. That is what the Lord said. Because they're so technologically advanced. If they knew about electricity, even in the time of King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon, imagine how much more technology they know. And so what the Lord said is, they are so technologically advanced, far, I don't know how many times more than the earth. Okay? But what they do is, they choose and decide, like, oh, what little bit are we going to introduce to humanity? Okay, let's say, just for example, then they say, okay, let's introduce to them a telephone. Then they're going to say, oh, okay, yeah, let's teach them now how to operate a telephone, how to make a telephone, how to operate a telephone. Then they're going to give one person who is on the earth for the things that they introduce on the earth. That is how they work. They're going to give one person who is on the earth a Nephilim, or even a Satanist, the people whom they work with. Then they're going to tell them that, you know what, on this date and this date, you go and announce to the world that you have come up with this new invention. Then they teach the people like how to go about the whole thing, like how the whole thing works and all that. Then they introduce that new technology on the earth. But it doesn't mean that's all that they know. They have so much information because they got the information from the fallen angels who first came on the earth, who were in heaven. And heaven is so much technologically advanced, so much technologically advanced than the earth. So that knowledge that they were able to come down with, that is the one that they just choose, like, what are we going to introduce to humanity? And so that's how they come up and say, oh, this person has now invented this, or this person has now invented this. And yet they already knew about all those things even years ago. But this is just when they have chosen to introduce it. And then they only introduce those things when it's supposed to come and perform a certain mission to destroy humanity. For them, that is their aim. That is their aim. They say, okay, so for example, if they say, let us introduce electricity to humans, firstly they have to ask themselves, like, what benefit is it going to be to us? Then they're going to say, okay, when we introduce electricity to them, we're going to be able afterwards to introduce television to them, okay? And then now we're going to be transmitting our messages much more easily to them, to their subconscious. We're going to be able to make all these worldly all these ungodly cartoons and movies. We're actually even going to start introducing pornography in their homes, and they're going to be watching. Then they're going to say, oh yeah, then they're going to give a person, then they're going to say, you invent this, and then you tell them, oh, now you've invented electricity. Then the person is just going to tell you the good side of that technology that they claim they have invented. They're going to say, oh, electricity is going to help you to keep warm. You're going to have light, electricity. It's going to make your work easier. But for them, the reason they introduced it is for how are they going to use it to destroy humanity. So that is why it is very important for us not to be outsmarted by the enemy. So if these things are introduced by the Nephilim, if they have introduced all these inventions and all that, doesn't mean that you should not use them. It just means that you should be smart about how you use them. It means that you need to think to yourself, the way that I'm using this thing, is it working for Satan's kingdom? Or can I use it for a purpose that is going to glorify God instead and defeat Satan with his own weapons? The same way that they're going to come and say, oh, now let's introduce social media. Now we've come up with this invention. This is a social media platform, this and that. Then they're going to say, oh, how are we going to use it against the humans? Oh, we're going to use it. We're going to introduce a lot of extramarital affairs. We're going to introduce moral decay. We're going to use it to spread all these negative messages about that are going to benefit our kingdom. But then a child of God should not. So if a child of God just comes and then just starts to use those things, they are unaware of the weapons of the enemy, then those things are going to work against them. But if they know, that in whatever thing I do, I need to glorify Jesus, then they're going to go on social media and only use it for the things that are going to glorify Jesus. Because Jesus told me that anything that you can think of on the earth, there are some things that are manufactured on the earth. But whatever you can think of, they also have many that are manufactured by the Nephilim and those other demons that are actually in the spiritual realm, and they just keep throwing them on the earth, but with that negative purpose being in their mind. So it's not possible for you to say, oh, before I buy anything, it has to be completely something, I have to prove that it's really made on earth. Jesus said that it's not possible. That is actually the word that he taught us. He said it's not possible. Why? Because the darkness is too much. It's literally anything that you can think of that you can buy. There's a chance it's made on earth. There's a chance it's not made on earth. And the only thing that the Lord taught us is pray for things that you use. Pray for things that you buy. Pray for them. Those were the words that the Lord Jesus Christ taught us. And he said that if something is not sinful, it's going to be purified. If it's just something innocent, it's going to be purified. But if something is sinful, even if you pray for it, it's not going to be purified.